viewers. Welcome to the African News Update on Top Accolade News. The headline: South Sudan faces constitutional crisis warning. Urgent action needed before September 22. Tanzania opposition official found dead with signs of torture. President calls for investigation. Zimbabwe faces sharp price hikes as new ZWG currency struggles and retailer shift to US dollar. Turkey and Somalia in talk for missile and rocket testing sites amid growing ties. In politics, South Sudan faces constitutional crisis warning. Urgent action needed before September 22. A legal expert has urgently warned South Sudan's transitional government to act quickly to prevent constitutional crisis. Constitutional lawyer Deng John Deng told Radio Tamazuj that if Peace Party do not agree before September 22, the government risks a legitimacy crisis. Under the National Election Act 2023, the government must dissolve its executive and legislative bodies by these dates, with a general election scheduled for December 22. However, doubts are growing about the feasibility of this election. Deng stressed that without an election or an extension, the government could be deemed illegitimate, potentially leading to constitutional vacuum, affecting state institutions and international missions. He advised the government to not rely solely on the Tumenia initiative for an extension, but to urgently form a high-level committee to draft technical reports on the way forward. Still in politics, Tanzania's opposition Chadema party is reeling after the body of Ali Kibao, a party official who went missing last week, was found dead with signs of torture, severe beating, and acid burns on his face. Kibao was abducted by armed men on Friday while traveling from Dar es Salaam to Tanga. The president condemned the killing and has called for a thorough investigation, though opposition leader Freeman Mbowe demands an independent probe, citing distrust in the police. Acid attacks are rare in Tanzania, where political violence has historically involved physical assault or shooting. With Tanzania's next presidential election approaching, the incident adds tension to the country's political climate. Now in economy, Zimbabwe faces sharp price hikes as new ZWG currency struggles and retailers shift to US dollar. Prices for basic commodities in Zimbabwe has surged as the newly introduced Zimbabwe Gold ZWG currency falters in the market dominated by the US dollar. Since its launch on April 5th, the ZWG has depreciated, promoting retailers to increasingly price goods in US dollar. A recent survey in the Harare reveals that supermarkets are now charging exclusively in US dollar due to the shortage of the ZWG notes. Basic items like cooking oil, milling meal, and sugar has seen significant price hikes, with some products nearly doubling in cost. The Consumer Protection Commission has expressed concerns over the rapid price increases and disparity between official and parallel market exchange rates. Economists and retailers alike warn that the instability of the ZWG and disruption in the supply chain are exacerbating the crisis, calling for urgent measures to stabilize the currency and improve market conditions. In international relations, Turkey and Somalia in talk for missile and rocket testing sites amid growing ties. Turkey is reportedly in discussions with Somalia to establish a site for testing missiles and launching space rockets, according to Bloomberg reports. The proposed facility would leverage Somalia's strategic location near the equator, making it ideal for rocket launches towards the Indian Ocean. While Turkish officials are hopeful for an agreement, Somali officials, including National Security Advisor and Parliamentary Defense Chairman, have declined to confirm the talks. This development is part of Turkey's broader strategy to expand its influence in Somalia, following significant investments such as $50 million military base in Mogadishu and recent defense and energy agreements. Turkey's growing role in Somalia comes amid regional tension, including a controversial deal between Ethiopia and Somaliland that has stirred international concerns. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Shifting focus to crime. Outrage in South Africa. Farm workers accused of murdering women and feeding bodies to pigs. A case ignited outrage in South Africa. 3 men, farm owner, supervisor, and employee, have been accused of murdering 2 women and feeding their bodies to pigs on their Limpopo farm. The women were reportedly shot after attempting to collect expired goods from a truck on the farm. The injured man who was with them managed to seek help, leading to the discovery of the women's decomposed remains. The suspect faced charges of premeditated murder, attempted murder, and illegal possession of firearm, with the employee also charged with being in the country illegally. Protesters outside the Polokwane court are demanding that the men are denied bail and face the severest penalty, while the South African Human Rights Commission urges the public to avoid taking matters into their own hands. The case will resume next month. Still in crime, 1 dead, 2 injured in Mwe East shop breaking. Police hunt for remaining gang members. In Mwe East, Kenya, Police Commander Patrick Yanga confirmed that a fatal encounter occurred early Tuesday morning when a gang of 6 was caught breaking into a shop. At 2 a.m. on September 10th, officers apprehended 3 of the gang members, one of whom was killed in the confrontation, while the 2 others sustained gunshot wounds and were taken to the hospital. The suspects admitted to theft as their primary activity. The police have recovered the gang's vehicle and several stolen items and are actively searching for the remaining 3 members. We are determined to restore order and will pursue all criminals in the region, Yanga warned. The deceased body has been transported to Kerugoya Hospital mortuary as the investigation continues. In entertainment, Oskido's Big Day Out Festival set to ignite Johannesburg with Kwaito legend and nostalgia. DJ and music producer Oskido is set to celebrate South Africa's musical legacy with his upcoming festival, Big Day Out, on November 30th in Huddle Park in Johannesburg. The festival will highlight 3 decades of music, focusing on the golden era of Kwaito, with performances from legendary artists. While the lineup is yet to be revealed, Oskido promises a mix of classic favorites and fresh hits. Big Day is not just about music. It's a celebration of our rich culture, vibrant history, and the joy that comes with it, music and food, Oskido said. He and his team are excited to offer a day of nostalgia and energetic performances, bringing together some of the country's greatest talents. Now in sports, South African boxing gets a makeover. South African boxing is set for a thrilling weekend of innovation as promoter Ayanda Matiti brings a unique double-header event to the Vodacom Dome in Midrand on Saturday. The day's action kicks off at 11 a.m. with a series of shorter bouts featuring emerging talents from across the country and beyond. The evening's highlights includes an international box and dine event with a black tie atmosphere, where Matiti will stage its 9th edition honoring Nelson Mandela. The main card will feature an IBO major flyweight title fight, along with other high-stake bouts. That concludes our African news update for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Okocha Ojorumi Victoria. Connect and engage with us on all our social media platforms. Do have a wonderful day.